it was unfortunate. I was unfortunate not to get tickets to the Kate Bush gigs.
Right, yeah.
I sold my right arm for those.
Yeah.
I sold my grandma for that. Sorry, man. I would have done.
How much were they going for those
ridiculous.
tickets?
And I had people really looking for us to try and get some, and I would have done anything. But,
I think they must have been so good with security there, because I'm not seeing anything on YouTube from these performances.
Yeah, of course, yeah. That's a good point.
There's nothing really out there, and I've looked just to kind of sort of.
Didn't she ask as well?
Yeah.
She asked, didn't she? And I think the sort of people who've got the sensibilities and taste of Kate Bush, also the people who sort of like respect that if she was to ask the crowd.
I think so.
You know, it's not like.
I think you'll probably be right. I think probably right. I think there was her wishes were granted, really.
Yeah.
You know, but there's too many songs really with Kate Bush. That's the thing. There's a song for any emotion, any event. There's something there for every day of your life with Kate Bush, I think, really. I mean, I really got into when I was living with Matt from Sway. That was played quite a lot in the house, and but
what was just Kate Bush or any specific?
Kate Bush, it was quite a lot. I mean, I really liked Kick Inside a lot, but I think to top it, The Hounds of Love for me is the best out of all of them. I like Sensual World as well. It's a brilliant, fabulous album. But The Hounds of Love, right from the beginning when the drums come in on is it Running Up the Hill? The first track on it.
Yeah.
She produced that record, you know.
It's a crazy record, that
one. Gilmore involved in that?
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. But there's incredible musicians on that album as well. And it's just, I mean, there's some of the other, you've got Cloud Busting, Hello Earth.
Yeah.
Incredible songs. The feel in those songs is brilliant. But it was just more of, I remember that in '85 being played a lot, but then revisiting later on.
Yeah.
And that is an album you can never get tired of, really.
And the videos are brilliant.
Yeah.
We've done some last night.
They are cracking.
Yeah.
And we put Running Up That Hill on. And I was saying to you last night when I was very drunk about 2:30 this morning.
Do you want to have a bath? That's what he's saying.
No, it's not.
Yeah, do you want another pint? Is the office still open?
But it was just watching almost performance art.
It's performance art for running up that hill, isn't it? It really is.
The dancing was amazing, the video was amazing, and you just think she's doing that, and that's aside from the fact that she's wrote, produced, played.
Yeah.
It's a real deal.
How that record's produced and even running up the hill, it is unique. And even how she sings, even the chorus on that running up the hill, how she sort of judders that out it's really clever. And
lyrically, it's brilliant as well.
That's but it's like I say, it's an album that I'd never go tired. If anyone puts it on anywhere, it's not. You know, sometimes you might be at somebody's place and there's, I don't mind it. I've heard it enough a million times.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It can work anywhere. It's amazing. It's more like, oh wow, you've got Kate Bush album,
lyrically as well. I mean, I think that's what got me. And I didn't really connect with Kate Bush when I was younger. A lot of my roots were quite aggressive music, I guess, and quite heavy. And it wasn't until sort of mid-20s that I was really listening started to dialing into people like Kate Bush, and actually even like we were talking about what records do you prefer, and I really dialed into Hounds of Love because of the Future Heads version of it.
Yeah.
And but it was I love how they covered that. I think it's the shit, you know. I mean, if you don't like that, I mean, maybe because you've heard it so much, you're sick of it. But it's fucking banger.
That'd get you out of trouble on an indie dance.
That really would. And I don't play it enough.
Yeah.
Like mind you, I haven't done a lot of indie nights, but lyrically on that I get a lump in my throat, and that's not their lyrics. That's Kate Bush's lyrics. I sing along to that song, and I get a lump in my mouth. I feel emotional now, and that's just her poetic vulnerability, and that's what I love about Kate Bush. I've looked that side of her that is beautiful.
I remember at the time, like in the early '90s, DJing that around then, and and Tori Amos come out.
Oh yeah,
and I just remember loads of people going crazy for Tori
Kate
Amos,
Bush.
and I was just like, "You've not checked out Kate Bush?
Yeah.
She's like Tori Amos, but like better."
Yeah,
It's the right way on the piano.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a, you know, starting out as a songwriter or anything like that, I think, you know, The Hounds of Love is an album that it needs to be checked out.
Yeah,
it's going to influence you in some ways. You know, it's perfection in songwriting, really. And many of her other albums are really, but just for me, that's the one it's kind of like, yeah, this is the one.
Yeah.
You know,
creatively sort of sticking to your guns as well. Do you know what I mean? Not allowing people to overly drag you away from what she felt was her art form. You know, not just with the music, but like you were saying, Shu, like all those videos, they're pretty fucking amazing.
The Don't Give Up, that was about the same time, isn't it, as well, with Peter Gabriel, which is a cracker of a song.
Yeah.
You know, and that video is one of the most simplest videos.
We watched videos.
You know, just back to back, just
Yeah.
turn it on. Brilliant.
It is. It's
Video,
a sweet video, very sweet.
Video to A Woman's Work. It's fantastic. It's what's his face from Blackadder in it.
Oh yeah, the
what his name is.
A Woman's Work is on. It's not on.
I'm not sure it's on Hounds of Love, but we were just looking at the videos.
Sensual World.
That's it. Yeah. Like, we was just talking about the videos last night. The videos of that, he's a cracker, and that song cut you in half.
I hadn't seen that. Had I?
Well, my favourite.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's if you haven't visited any Kate Bush, it's time. I used to have this reoccurring dream at this time. Now, not in that way at all, but it was this reoccurring dream.
A lot of people did have dreams in that way about Kate Bush.
This is a very different one. A little bit. I think it used to be. I'll tell you the dream, and because I can still see it now. It used to be. I was driving down this lane, and it was chucking down rain, middle of the night. You know, pitch black in the middle of the night. And I broke down for whatever reason. Car was knackered and flooded away. And Kate Bush drives by in a Range Rover and tows me back to her house and plays the piano while we wait for the RAC to turn on.
What a brilliant dream. Are you sure that's not one of her Is that not one of her music videos?
So I used to sit there on the piano at the piano store with Kate Bush while she played away. You know, it's a woman's work. And then, you know, and then wait for the RAC to turn on. And that's the end of the story.
That I do know.
That's a great feeling, that.
But I was obviously listening far too much Kate Bush at the time. And I had problems with my car.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I'll definitely go for any RAC, mate. Alright, so...
It wasn't the green flag, you know, it was definitely RAC.
So should we move on to your last choice of this list before we steam through?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I had to think about this one, but I came. We were talking about the top 5 records, and I guess one of my top 5 '80s records or records I played to death early on in the '80s, which would have been about in '84 when I was just getting into buying stuff or having my own collection. Was my uncle bought me for Christmas Frank Goes to Hollywood, Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. Now, some people might go, oh no, on this, but I think this is Trevor Horn at his best.
Definitely.
I would sit in the corner on the family stereo with the headphones on listening to this record over and over. And in some ways, I've been a bully. I have to confess to being a bully over the years and making people listen to this album from start to finish with no conversation in between. And if there's conversation, then you've got to start again. And just so you get it. I mean, it's incredible. Yeah. You know, there's almost like the intros, there's like a sort of a metaphor. Or something. You know, the way it starts with welcome to pleasure. You know, the world is my oyster, and that laugh. it just you know, it's like almost telling you to go and do something, be something, and do your own thing. And I just love that record, I still do.
And it was dangerous as well, wasn't it? When it came out, like we were talking about last week, because obviously you're a lot younger than me and Justin, and Chris didn't know about Relax being banned.
Yeah.
And sort of saying that.
I was sort of like outstanding by that when you said that to me last night. I'm like, what? Because it's saying when you want to come.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? But then you think about it, they were quite hot on everything, weren't they?
I heard some stories later on about Frankie Goes Dolly when they were making that record. Of course, Holly Johnson and they were just having a ball, thinking about it. Trevor Horn made that record.
Yeah, cool.
They would turn up at the studio and just having a ball. And the debauchery that was probably going on in that studio. It's Sam West, and it sounds great. It sounds still fascinating now, and
it couldn't be replicated live, really, though, could it?
No.
At the time,
I believe not. I would have loved to have seen them play live, but I believe it wasn't a patch on.
That's what I heard. They couldn't, because obviously.
Yeah, I mean, Holly Johnson's got an incredible voice.
Amazing.
And I'm shocked really he didn't continue to make that many more records. He did a couple of solo things, but he still could have made some fascinating records.
Yeah.
Brilliant records.
They could have more chance of doing that now, probably.
They did reform for Trevor Horn's birthday thing, some gig, and he played as the vocals as well, and Frankie played, but Holly wasn't fronting them. It was fronted by some guy with long hair. I don't know who he is, and the other guy with the kind of handlebar moustache that was always.
He died though, didn't he? Didn't he? Paul Redford, was it Paul Redford?
Yes, it. Yeah, did he die?
I think he died a few years ago. Don't quote me on that one. Sure we should check that out. We'd hate to be spreading a rumour.
Yeah. But